Hi, my name is Athena, and I'm a certified hypnotherapist specializing in clinical hypnotherapy and past and current life regressions. And today, as we head into Christmas week, I wanted to talk about joy. So, what if you had to do a list of things in your life brings you joy? Are they centered in material items? Are they centered in the connections you have with other humans? Is it something that's centered as far as in nature and animals? But essentially, what is that list that brings you joy? And, when you look at that list and you say, well, how do I create joy? And you first identify what are the things that make you happy, things that give you a sense of accomplishments or peace or contentment. And from there, you may have things that are, big things on your list, and you may have things that are smaller in your list. For example, for me, one of the things that brings me joy is simply having tasks to do or goals in mind, even if they're very small goals, and then actually achieving them. Because for me, what happens is I actually feel this sense of relief where I feel an energetic change where it literally goes, and I feel that release and I feel that joy come over me of, yes, I did that or I completed it. So there's different ways that you can experience joy. Sometimes you can simply just be in nature, and all of a sudden you just feel this peacefulness or this one, with the earth and, the trees and the sky and whatever else is around you. So joy can be found in many different places. For others, the joy is in their human connections and the time that they get to spend with the people that they love. Now, as we come into Christmas, that can be a little bit tricky, right? There's some people who are choosing not to spend time with their family, and that's actually causing a sense of not joy, but pain and frustration and sadness. Now, if you're somebody who's gone through the year 2020 where it feels like everything's just been bad, and no matter where you've looked in your life, this bad thing has happened, and it's just this constant rolling theme for you, and you're sitting in a space of saying, I don't know how to create joy, I don't know how to find joy, and I don't really feel any joy, then this is what I would say to you. The first thing is I would take a look at this last year and say, okay, maybe I didn't have a lot of joyful moments, but what was it that I learned from this experience, or what was it that I was able to draw from? For example, you may in past years have, gone to Christmas and spent time with your family, but maybe it kind of was, reluctantly. It was more of it's a tradition and I have to do it, and, otherwise my parents will be upset or my sister or whatever. And now maybe in this year where you have not been allowed to have that time with your family, now you've realized how much more you really do enjoy your family. And so try to take a look at things from a different perspective and say, well, what is it that I've really found value in this year? Additionally, try to think of things that you can do, things that you have control over, that you can create joy for yourself. So for example, maybe you like to draw, or maybe you like to create something else, or maybe you like to, play music and you haven't really done that in a while. Or maybe it's just spending time, reading books and you haven't read books in years. So there's different ways that you can actually look to create joy in your life and not have to sit back and just say, well, these other things are supposed to happen, and because these things aren't happening, I don't have any joy. Because if you create joy for yourself, then one of the interesting things that happens is all of a sudden more joy starts coming into your life in different areas, because you're energetically vibrating at a different level than you were before. So that's one way of doing it. The other thing that you can do to create joy is not so much of a focus on yourself, but actually a focus on others. So how can you create joy for other people? Because usually when you create joy for other people, it has this awesome thing where it comes back to you. So let's take Christmas, for example, right? You buy presents for your family. You hope that some of them, like the presents. And especially when you have, kids involved, one of the greatest feelings that you have is not that, oh crap, I spent, that much money on the toy or the gift or whatever it was. But, when they open their present and they see what it is, that they actually have this awesome, expression on their face, and they're so happy or so excited, or they're smiling at you really big, like, wow, this really means something special to me. And in that moment, joy is not just created for yourself, but joy is actually created for both of you. And so there's things that you can do, for other people that are ways to create joy. Sometimes I think you need to help, create joy in others in order for you to start creating your own joy. So if you're struggling, trying to figure out what you can do for yourself, then try to look at what you can do for other people and, see the joy that, you can create for them. And sometimes that joy is simply in something as simple as making them laugh. Making them, laugh at a really funny joke that you did. Or sometimes it can be, doing something that's a surprise for them, something unexpected, in which it's in those moments that, that joy is created and you feel good about yourself for what you did. So if you're struggling with those things, I hope that this helps you figure out how to create joy for yourself, how to create joy for others. And if you're still feeling stuck as far as, how you can create more joy in your life and what you need to do, as a hypnotherapist, you can give me a shout and we can work through trying to figure out what you may be blocked on. Because if you're not able to come up with things, on your own that will help you find joy, or if you're just in a funk with so many things that have happened this year that you're struggling to see the joy, then there's clearly an emotional block there. And if there's an emotional block, then I can help you work through that and see if we can, get you on the path to creating joy. So Merry Christmas, everyone. I hope this finds you well. And that was my talk on joy.